Well, here we are once again. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, and all of you out there. Good morning. How's everybody on this beautiful, beautiful Monday? Today we got sunshine today, y'all. I got something I can smile about once again. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get a chance to come in here and just talk to you guys about some of these things that seem to matter most. We know life can be challenging. Life can be many things, but life is always about you. Your Monday Mental Real Estate is here, guys. It's another time that we get a chance to connect. So before I even get started, let me ask you the question. How was your weekend? Did you spend time with somebody that you love? Did you spend time with somebody that loved you back? Did you get an opportunity to pour into somebody that is desperately needing something that's going to help the evolution of their life? Life is about many different things, y'all. And I know one thing's for sure is that we got to keep living. We don't have an excuse in this life but to keep living. So I'm grateful for all that's been happening, grateful for all the things that we've been doing, and grateful for you. So before I even get started, let me just go ahead and make sure that the temperature is right. I'm glad you all came in. Thank you for coming in to talk to me and tune in with yours truly, Dr. Professor Michael Freeland, here once again to talk about mental real estate, talking about the positive and negative contributors to your mindset. And what does that mean for you? Absolutely everything. Today is no different as we come in and we do something special. So today, let me get right into it because you know what? I can't waste any time today. We got life applications to talk about. This is a special one today because we're talking about a few things that seem to matter. Now, life applications, talking about those good old days. I love life applications because it gives me an opportunity to reflect, to go back, to come back to today and see where the measuring stick is in my life. Now, I can remember when we was growing up, living with my dad. My dad was a very prolific barber. Let me say this because I don't know about y'all, but back in the day, they didn't just have everybody that knew how to cut hair. You had to go to a barber. And so if you went to the barber shop, a lot of times you knew that the person that was standing there that was going to put you in their chair, they knew exactly what they was doing. So they had a chance to go ahead and put you in that chair, get you all trimmed up, have you looking nice. And next thing you know, you out the door, you ready to go, you ready to start your day. There's nothing like a fresh cut. Now here it is. My dad, like I said, he was a barber. He was in the military, in the Air Force, and he had owned maybe 2 to 3 barber shops throughout my time of growing up. Now, here's what's crazy is that at some point I left from my father and I moved back here to live with my mother. Now, when I lived with my mom, I realized that I didn't have a barber. So we would try to find people to cut my hair, you know, and it didn't really go over too well. And I can't tell you how my hair grew. It just was all over the place. So I can also remember my brother when my brother came back. Now, here it is. My dad was a prolific barber. Now, my brother learned how to cut hair. Now, and guess where he probably learned how to cut hair? From my dad. Now, see, we didn't have barber school back then. You had to sit still, learn, and listen. And then that's how my brother learned how to do it. But I think a lot of times he learned how to do it on me. It's crazy, y'all. So what was crazy is that my brother would learn how to cut hair. He would cut my hair. And then guess what happened? As I grew up, I got a certain age and I decided, you know what? I'm tired of people cutting my hair. So I decided I'm going to cut my hair too. So I'm going to try to cut my hair. So I'm standing in the mirror, y'all. I mean, all I got is a mirror, a sink, and a toilet beside me. And I don't know the first thing about cutting hair. But I said, I'm going to do this. So I stood in front of the mirror and I started cutting. And I was trying to be careful with them clippers because, you know, if you mess up, ain't no coming back. So I started cutting and I kept trying. And I was cutting. I was getting everything nice and it was looking pretty good. And I got my hair cut to the point. And I said, all right, I think I'm good. And I said, you know what? I'm going to add just a little bit of a part right here. So I decided to take my clippers and try to put a little part right there. So I touched my head with the clippers and so I could see the line, you know, as I touch it, and I'm going to take this part back a little bit. So I'm touching it and it goes back. I'm touching it and it goes back. But then I realized one thing. I said, it's not really clean enough. So because it wasn't clean enough, I went ahead and started trying to clean it up a little bit. And it wasn't straight enough, so I started trying to straighten it up a little bit. And I tried to... It's crazy because I kept trying, and the more I tried, the more I felt like I was getting it right. So by the time I got this part right, check it out. By the time I got done putting that part in my head after I've been cutting myself up, I finally did it. My first cut on myself. I said, you know what? I'm going to do this thing the way I want to do it. And I got it done right. So by the time I was done, I put the clippers down and I looked in the mirror and I had a nice clean cut. I had everything lined up right. And then guess what happened? As I looked up to see where that part was, the part was about this wide, y'all, on my head. It wasn't even a part anymore. It was a bald spot. I was like, oh my God, because all I kept doing was trying to clean it up. And the more I cleaned, the more I cut. And the more I cut, the wider it got. So I got this nice haircut with a part about this wide on my head that goes all the way back. And I'm looking like a complete, total fool. So I'm telling you. And I had to go to school like that. Now, here's the thing. Mama didn't play that. You ain't going to school. It wasn't no hats. Wasn't no hats. You didn't get to wear no hat to school. So I had to go to school with this part in my head that I attempted to cut, and it looked so bad. I had no choice but to try to fix it. So you know what happened? I messed it up so bad. I went original R. Kelly on them, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I went completely bald-headed. I was actually had the beard and everything. I went completely bald-headed. People was like, man, that's a new look for you. Yes, it is. And thank you. I thought I was looking clean and good. I was clean. But if they only knew that I had parted the Red Sea on top of my head. Now, today, Monday Mental Real Estate, talking about what I tried to do. Now, in life, there are things that we try. There are things that we try. There are things that you try. And the thing about what we do to try is what puts us in the process of trying. Now, trying is something that we describe in many different ways because we can try to succeed or we can try to fail. Now, believe it or not, there are people who will try to fail. But I don't really understand in some areas of life why it seems that there are people that would try to fail. Now, here's the thing about trying. It puts you in a position to have to understand. It puts you in a position to have to work through. Now, here's the thing. I can remember growing up and trying to take a test, and I said, well, I tried. And I can remember going in to take a test for a job, or if I was taking a test in school and I tried it and I didn't quite succeed it. Now, here's the thing. When you try, a lot of times, if you don't succeed, you may not go back again. If you don't succeed at what you try, this is what I love about it, is because trying gives people an out. It gives people a reason to say, I won't. I do or I don't, I will or I won't. But if you try something and it doesn't work out for you, at least you can say what? You tried. I can remember Mama making us eat those vegetables, and when we ate those vegetables, we didn't always like them. But you know what my mom always told me? You can at least try it, because you never know. Now, here it is. Fast forward a little bit to today. I said after I cut my hair, I'm not doing that again. But you know what happened? I was in a position I didn't have a choice. There was nobody else to cut my hair. So I had to learn how to try again. I had to learn how to apply myself to try again. Not just allow myself to keep making the same mistakes, but how many of you know that if you make the same mistake more than once, then you're not really trying? Because a lot of times if you realize that I've tried it and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, if I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this again, I have to now do it what? Differently. That means I cannot do it what? The same. And if I don't do it the same after I have the basis of what I'm doing, just learning how to cut my hair, I know that next time, not to hold the clippers like that, not to take it so wide, and know how to get it right, what? The first time. Because you may not get it right the first time, but here's the thing. There's something that goes along with trying. This is your mental real estate now. There's something that goes along with trying that we don't talk about. Why do we get in these positions to try certain things? And I'm not talking about the negative things, the weed, the smoking, the marijuana, the alcohol, the drugs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the positive things in your life that we have tried. And sometimes we've never tried it again. We put ourselves in great positions in this life to not only just try something, but to give ourselves an opportunity to learn something. But there's something different that goes along with trying that you didn't get, that a lot of times you realize why you never picked it up again, why you never went back to that vision, why you never moved forward with what you thought. Why you never increased in your knowledge? Why did you give up about that thing that you tried? And I used to learn a lot of things behind that word tried. Oh, you tried, huh? This how you tried, this how you did it. So you tried it, huh? Well, here's what I learned about try when I was a kid. They'd say, go back and do it again. You tried, but you didn't try what? You didn't try hard enough. But there's something that goes along with trying that people seem to negate. And I'm going to give it to you. Monday Mental Real Estate, helping you understand your perspective of thought. It's not about trying, y'all, because it's also about something that lies underneath the try. And that's trust. That's trust. Did you hear what I said? Sometimes we're looking at the thing as if we've tried, but a lot of times if you look what's tied to the end of it, therein lies trust. So Monday Mental Real Estate, helping you understand your perspective of thought, is how does try and trust relate? Because they are very, very related. I want to give this to you guys. Listen, try and trust relate because trust involves the willingness to try, stepping into the unknown with confidence, while trying things often builds trust by demonstrating competence and reliability. You can't trust, you can't truly trust without trying. Let me say that again. You can't truly trust without trying. And consistent, successful attempts foster more trust, but trying can also mean forcing things out of fear. Listen, it can also mean forcing things out of fear, which erodes trust. Contrasting with the confident, trying that comes from trust. Essentially, trying is the action and trust is the underlying belief that makes the attempt worthwhile, whether in relationships or with oneself. Trying to build trust, taking action. Listen to this, y'all. Trying to build trust, taking action. You try to connect with someone by opening up, or you try to prove your competence by following through on tasks, which builds trust. Listen, vulnerability. Trusting someone means being vulnerable. How many of us have been there? Trusting someone means being vulnerable enough to try new things with them, knowing they'll support you. Now, I'm going to stop right there for just a second, because when it comes to trust, there are a lot of people. I mean, almost everyone, if you've lived this life, everyone has experienced trust issues with someone else. Now, a lot of times it could be relationships. It could be something that's going to be a little bit different, something that's going to be a little detrimental, because a lot of times if someone betrays your trust, think about it. When someone in your life has ever betrayed your trust, what do you do? What do you do? A lot of times you'll cut them off. A lot of times you'll leave them alone. A lot of times you have to step away, or sometimes you get angry and you act out because your trust in someone else has been betrayed. Now, here's the crazy thing about the trust factor. Is not only does trust allow you to move in directions that you want, but a lot of times when people lose your trust, it's hard to regain it, isn't it? When people lose your trust, do you give it back easy, or do you make them work for it? Let's keep this thing going on, y'all, because I just got done talking about the vulnerability. Now listen here. Intentionally. How does trust relate? Intentionally. You intentionally try to show up consistently and reliably, which reinforces your trust. Now, trust as the foundation for trying. Listen, y'all. Trust as the foundation for trying. Confidence in the unknown. Trust is a confident relationship with uncertainty, allowing you to try things without guaranteed outcomes. Let me say that again. The confidence in the unknown. Trust is a confident relationship with uncertainty, allowing you to try things without guaranteed outcomes. Overcoming fear. Listen, trust helps you move past the fear of being hurt or failing, enabling you to try again. Now here it is. Self-trust. Believing in your own ability to handle challenges empowers you to try new things and trust others. Man, that word trust. It sounds good, don't it? But something about that word trust. Ooh, let me get back to this thing because I'm almost done. The pitfalls. Listen to this, y'all. I got the pitfalls. Trying too hard and fear-based. Performance versus authenticity. When people try out, listen, oh my God, listen to this. When people try out of insecurity, they focus on performance and pleasing others. There's more to it, but I'm going to stop right there for a second. When people try out of insecurity, they focus on performance and pleasing others. Did you hear that one? Think about that. How many times in your life have you operated on just trying to please somebody and trying to make sure that you did it in a way that people could understand and pleasing others? Because self-trust, wow. Let's go here. People try out of insecurity. They focus on performance and pleasing others, which isn't genuine trust. It isn't genuine trust and often leads to anger when things go wrong. Put it all together, y'all. Listen here. People try out of insecurity when they focus on performance and pleasing others, which is not genuine trust and often leads to anger when things go wrong. Now listen, the pitfalls. Trying too hard, y'all. When people try, here we go. Micromanagement, mistrust leads to endlessly trying to check up on someone. Micromanaging. Any micromanagers out there? Micromanagement. Mistrust leads to endless trying to check up on someone instead of trusting them to deliver. How many of us dealt with that just on our job? We ain't talking about personal life. Just on your job, you've dealt with people who want to micromanage you. Now, that's funny because, in short, trust enables hopeful, confident trying, while a lack of trust can lead to fearful, controlling trying, or an inability to try at all. Now, here it is. Where would you be had you never tried? Where would you be had you never tried? Now, that's funny because life deals us hands that we a lot of times want to try to gravitate to. We run to. We see assignments in front of us and we'll move into these things. And a lot of times that's funny because the things that you look at that you try, you have had to have some form of trust. But would you trust it if you tried it? Now, here's the question. Reverse. Flip that thing. Would you try it if you didn't trust it? How could you try what you don't trust? How could you do what you won't trust? Now, here's the thing is that all of us operate on that same level of mentality when it comes to trying and trusting. Trust is hard. And it's funny because I think that more importantly, as I talked to you earlier about me getting off of that bandwagon of when I cut my hair and I had a part this big going down the middle of my head, I looked like a complete idiot, y'all. I said, I can't do this again. But you know what happened? I had to get back on the saddle because now I had already taken the reins of understanding that I'm the only person who's going to make sure that I have a well-groomed face and a well-groomed head. I took it upon myself to cut my own hair, to shave my own face. I took it upon myself to do these things, but I could not try it if I never trusted it. The first time I tried it, I didn't trust it. If I trusted it, I would have got the process right. Sometimes in the process of trusting, that's where it lies, how you try. But the thing is, when I tried it, I didn't trust it. So when I messed this thing up, I didn't want to try again. That brings me to my next point. When we get to the point in life where trying is all we have, when we tried and there's nothing left we can do, sometimes we'll give up in the process of trying. We'll try it and then we pull out. We'll try it and then we'll throw our hands up. We'll try it and then we'll give in. Okay. I'll do it your way. Because we've tried it the way we wanted to see fit. But in understanding trying, you have to know that there's a trust factor involved in what you try. You cannot try certain things. You will not try. That's funny when someone says, girl, I made some spaghetti. You want to try it? Now, here's the thing. If you know they'll cook, that they can cook, if you know they can cook, you'll try it, won't you? But if you know that that they're trying and you have never tasted their cooking before? Case in point, my oldest daughter. Case in point, my oldest daughter, she came in the room one day. She said, Daddy, I want to fix you breakfast. I said, okay. And I just looked and I said, I ain't never seen her cook before. Now, you know, as a parent, you don't want to knock your kids down. So I said, I ain't never seen her cook before, but I said, okay, baby, go ahead and fix breakfast. So she goes in there and she fixed breakfast. She fixed me some bacon and eggs. And listen, there was smoke coming out of my kitchen. Listen, I'm not going to tell it all, but listen to me, y'all. There was smoke literally coming out of my kitchen. And I'm sitting in my room because she wanted to make me breakfast in bed. So I'm still in bed and I can see the smoke coming down the hallway, right? So she gets done cooking and I know, oh my God, the bacon, she had the whole house smoking. So she comes in, she hands me the plate and I looked at it. It was bacon and eggs and toast. Now, the bacon was Cajun. I'm just going to say the bacon was Cajun and the toast was well done. Toast was well done. And the eggs, they looked really good. So what I did is I took a bite of the bacon and I ate a piece of the toast. And she's looking at me, waiting on me to give her the report. And I said, and then I took a bite of the eggs. But let me tell you, oh my God. I hope oh my God. The eggs were as if the lid on the salt shaker fell off when she was trying to put the salt on the eggs. And so when I bit down, it was a mouthful of yellow salt. So I got a mouthful of eggs and I just chewed them. But you know, as your child, you gotta support them, right? So I looked at her and I said, baby, she said, do you like it, Daddy? I said, baby, these are the best eggs I ever tried. How many of y'all know that even in trying, you can't quit? But you can't also take people off of what they are trying to do. You can't remove someone from the things that they tried because it may not be the thing that you would see. Because listen, we know that with trying, there's going to come imperfection. Let me say that again. With trying may come imperfection. You're not going to always get it right because you tried. But the thing is that what's most important is that what you did try. Now, let me take this to another level, because when we're talking about trying, there's things in our life that we try, but you're going to be put in positions where trying is going to enable you to try harder. Why is that? Because there are going to be things that you try that no one else can fix for you. There's going to be things that you try that no one can remove you out of the way. There's going to be things that you try that become a full assignment that nobody else can take the test. There's going to be things in your life that you try that you got to go back and you got to finish. But how do you finish if you don't have trust? I heard people tell me once, Dr. Freeland, I have trust issues. You have what? Trust issues. But if you have trust issues, let me ask you the question. Have you ever tried? What do you have trust issues with? I have trust issues primarily in relationships. Well, in relationships, have you ever tried? Yes, I've tried. But listen, you tried that relationship. Have you tried another relationship? Now, here's the thing. But because when I tell you that trying can be successful or it can be detrimental, some people will try to do things to allow themselves to succeed, but some people will also allow to try not to see success because it comes with a price. It comes with a cost. When you try to be successful, you know there's going to be some blood, sweat, and tears that comes along with your ability to try. And if you try, you're going to eventually see success. But a lot of times we won't see success because we stop trying. Why would you ever quit? When you're right there at the cusp of what has been there deemed for your blessing, why would you stop trying? When you don't realize that everything that you prayed for, everything that you asked God for, you're right in the midst of what you're trying to see, but you don't understand because you stopped trying. What about that dream that you had? How many times have you spoke that dream out, but yet still you have not taken one step in that direction because you didn't want to try? But why? Maybe it's because you didn't trust it. Maybe it's because you didn't trust it. Because one thing I can guarantee you, if you learn to trust something, you will try it. If you trust it, you'll try. And if you try, you're going to see success from your efforts because you learn how to trust it. But now in the spiritual world, try him for yourself. Try him for yourself. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Try Jesus for yourself. Yes, I'm going there. Why? Because there's too many people who live life without understanding that the failure may lie within your success. Your success may lie within your failure. But if you've never tried, how do you ever know what is going to be meant for you? When it comes for what's for you, what's in your life, do you think that God and Jesus ain't sitting back talking about, man, I got something for you. I want to be a blessing to you, but I'm putting these obstacles in front of you, but for whatever reason, you just won't try it. Try them for yourself. Because when you look over your shoulder, you're going to see that trying is going to come with a trust factor. And if you learn how to trust, if you learn that it's okay to trust. Now listen, that's funny because we remove trust like cancer. We remove trust like cancer. People won't even want to talk to you because you have an inability to learn how to trust. And if you've ever trusted before, yes, we know it hurts. Yes, we know when people have betrayed us, it hurts. But do you stop trying what hurts you? That's funny. You'll go to the gym and you'll beat your body up. You'll stay on that treadmill till you got no air. You'll lift weights until everything can't move anymore. But you'll go through the pain and elevating your body, but you won't go through the suffering to elevate your mind. When it comes to your trust, will you try? If God is telling you, if Jesus is telling you in your life, there's going to be some areas of your life that you're going to have to go through. I need you to walk through this because I know what's best for you because I've created the pathway for you, but I just need you to stay with the process. Because if you stay with the process, I'm going to get you through this because you're not going to go through it by yourself. And a lot of times we're in these vehicles, we're in these houses, we're in these workplaces, and we think that we're standing alone. But because I've already set things before you, you have to understand that where I'm taking you is not where you're standing. But I need you to try to get to the other side. Because if you can get to the other side, you're going to see everything that you tried for. And guess what happens when you get to the other side of trying and trusting? Your trying is over. You've been through the fire. You've been tried and tested. And because you come through what you've been tried and tested through, you're going to get to the other side. And guess what happens when you see that one thing come through that you've been praying for? That one thing show up on your doorstep that you've been crying for. That one thing that shows up in your driveway that you've been asking other people to just trust with you to get you where you got to go. When you get to the other side of that, we're talking about trying and trusting. But you can never achieve what you don't trust. And you can never trust what you won't try. So what are you truly trying for when it comes to the purpose and intentions of your life? What is it that you'll try for? Because one thing I do know is that when we go through life and we see things in a different light, we'll move. When we see things in a different light. Now, I said when we see things in a different light because everybody's not going to see the light that you see. Everybody's not going to gravitate to the things that you walk to. Everybody's not going to move in a direction that makes you happy. Because there are some things in life, some trials in life, you won't be able to go through with anyone else. There are a lot of things that you're going to try, nobody else can eat. Nobody else can experience. Nobody else can go through. This is why it comes to the author of our faith. Because in this journey of life, there are a lot of things, many things that push us in different directions that people cannot go. Now let me say this because I don't want you to learn to settle for your friendships, to settle for the people that you love, to settle for those that want to see you do the things that they want to see you do. Because when you begin to settle for the things that they have, you lose sight of your vision. If you lose sight of your vision, you have settled. If you want to keep moving within the vision God gave you, stop settling for the opinion of others. Stop looking to fear as if I'm going to lose my friendships because I got things that God is asking me to do. They will never understand. But it's not about them. It's about the fact that you will try. And if you try, you're going to learn how to trust what you try. Your achievements are based off of a lot of those things. But we got to get past that trust thing. Some people will never trust again, as they said. But if you live long enough, I challenge you to try it and try him once again. You're going to see it in a different light. It's not going to look the same. The sunshine coming through this window don't look the same. It's a beautiful day. Every day we get an opportunity to connect. There's another opportunity for you to keep trying. Don't give up. Don't give up. I'm not here to try to make people feel bad about the fact that they've run across some things that have really been detrimental. I know how it pains you. I know how some of the things hurt you. Some of these things will tear you away from the ability to give any faith or confidence into anything. All I'm trying to say for you is trust your process. So if you learn how to trust, don't worry. You'll try it. Hey, this is Professor Dr. Michael Freeland here to talk to you again about your Monday mental real estate and what that means for you on this day, this week, this month, this year, absolutely everything. We're moving forward, guys. We're not turning around. We're not going to turn this thing around. We're moving forward because trust is an issue for a lot of people. Trust is an issue for a lot of people. And if you'll be honest with yourself, maybe you'll put your hand up too. Trust can be an issue for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be. Because once you learn how to combine your trying with your trusting, you will move into a different area of your life that's going to help you develop. It's going to help you mentally grow. It's going to put you in an area of sharpness where people will learn to have faith in all that you trust. And they're going to learn to have faith in all that you trust merely because you tried. Hey, let me shout some people out so I can get out of here. Ambassador Jesse, how are you? Jesse Nyambu, I appreciate you. This is another one of the ambassadors for mental real estate all the way in Kenya. Thank you so much for doing what you do. Yolanda Shaheed, good to see you in. As always, continue your great work. Continue to elevate yourself as you continue to be a blessing to the lives of others. Thank you so much, Juanita Bailey. Good to see you as always. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, great people out here. Rita Mendoza, what's up, Auntie? I see you. Doing great things as always. Hey, Miss Locust, how are you? Good to have you in as always. Ebony Saunders, my assistant here in the U.S., standing on everything for mental real estate. This is what we do, and I appreciate you for being a part of this. Chantel, what's up with you? I see you. Good morning to you. God bless you. Thank you for doing what you always do. Adrian Revels, my brother, God bless you. I love you, man. Continue to elevate God's people through the word of God. And I appreciate you for standing in the gap for so many that need to have that desperate word. Thank you so much, Jenna Thompson, mother. Good morning. I see you. Ronnie Tisdale, my dear. How are you? I appreciate you so much. Sonia Green, I see you. Thank you for tuning in. Jane, Agatha, thank you. Magori Jane, all the way, oh my God, in Kenya. We're doing great things. Thank you, Jane, for being a part of Monday Mental Real Estate. Thank you for doing what you're doing to continue to elevate your community, because your community needs you in a way that they just don't know. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. Don't stop the process, because the process is a part of you. You are now somebody who is elevating on a different level. God bless you, Jane. I appreciate you. Chandrika McDowell, the author. I see you. This is what we do. God bless you. I see you, Chandrika. Listen, the author, I'm going to keep putting you out there. Get that book ready, y'all, because she's put that thing out. And when it comes out, it's going to change your life. We got life changers in here. You know why? Because their lives have been changed as well. Thank you, Chandrika, for all that you do, and I appreciate you. Last but not least, my life's blood, my supporter, my everything, the one who keeps me going, prays for me, stays with me, chastises me. I've been through it all. My mama, Brenda Redmond, mama, I love you. I hope you're feeling better. It's a new day that God has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Everyone have yourself a great day, a safe week, and your journeys will continue on. Don't stop trying, but build your trust. Don't stop trying, but continue to build your trust. Do not stop trying. Just continue to build your trust. And you're going to see that brighter day, just as I have on this day. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk again soon. It's yours truly, Professor Dr. Michael Freeland. Once again, Monday Mental Real Estate. We did it, y'all. Take care, guys. I love you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.